Imagine waking up to a home that feels like a peaceful retreat, not a storage unit. A place where your mind slows down, your shoulders drop, and you finally breathe a little easier. What if the secret to creating that kind of calm isn't found in trash bags and donation boxes, but in a deeper, more intentional shift? Today, we're going to walk through 3 mindful decluttering techniques that aren't harsh, rushed, or overwhelming. They're practical, they're meaningful, and they work, especially if you're tired of the endless keep or throw struggle. Before we dive in, take a second and hit subscribe to Senior Decluttering Diaries. If creating a calmer, easier, more intentional home matters to you, you'll want to stay with us. And while you're here, feel free to comment down below. I read all of them. My top 3 mindful decluttering techniques. The hidden cost of clutter. Let's start with a simple picture. An overflowing drawer you can't close. A countertop buried under mail, chargers, and odds and ends. A closet where everything falls out when you pull one hanger. Most people assume this is just mess. But the truth is, clutter quietly drains you. It's the silent weight behind that tired, scattered feeling you sometimes can't explain. It chips away at your focus. It slows every decision. It steals your energy before the day even begins. And if you've ever walked into your own living room and felt a little irritated without knowing why, that's your brain trying to process too much visual noise. This is where the mindful approach steps in. Instead of attacking clutter with force and frustration, you shift the goal. The goal isn't to get rid of things. The goal is to understand why they're in your home in the first place. Because when you understand the why, the what becomes easy. The intentional keeper. Technique number 1 is something I call the why do I have this method. Pick up an object, any object, a souvenir from a trip 20 years ago, a sweater someone gifted you that never quite fit, a kitchen gadget you forgot you owned. Now ask yourself the real questions, not the guilt-filled ones. Do I use this? Do I love this? Does it serve my life today? Not 5 years ago, not someday far away, but now. Does this bring me joy right now? This is about being an intentional keeper, not a reluctant declutterer. A lot of people hang on to things because of guilt. Someone gave it to them, someone might ask about it, they spent money on it. But guilt is a terrible organizer. It keeps homes stuffed with items that don't actually add anything meaningful. Try this. Place the item in your hands, notice your first instinct. If your mind says, I should keep it, that's guilt speaking. If your mind says, I want this, that's value speaking. You can trust that difference. And by the way, if this is making sense, make sure you're subscribed to Senior Decluttering Diaries. We talk about these things in a calm, slow, steady way, no pressure, just progress. And drop a comment down below telling me which items are hardest for you to part with. Your answers help guide future videos. The energy exchange. Technique 2 is the energy scan method. Every item in your home has a subtle emotional charge. You might not realize it, but you can feel it when you hold something that reminds you of a hard time, a stressful job, a painful memory, or a person who drained you. Objects carry stories, good ones and not so good ones. So here's what you do. Pick up just one item. Maybe a stack of old papers tied to a stressful project. Maybe a gift from someone you don't speak to anymore. Maybe a piece of clothing that you used to love, but now tugs at something heavy.
Hold it. Breathe. Ask yourself, how does this make me feel? Uplifted? Calm? Content? Or tense? Sad? Weighted? You'll be surprised how clear the answer is once you pause long enough to hear it. If an object feels draining or tied to a past version of yourself you no longer want to carry, that's your permission to let it go. Not because you're decluttering, but because you're choosing your energy. People often underestimate the emotional side of their home. They think they're keeping stuff for practical reasons, but the truth is, a lot of items stay because no one has ever asked how they actually make you feel. This method brings clarity without force. You're not arguing with yourself, you're simply listening. The purposeful purge. Technique number 3 is the future self filter. Picture the person you're becoming. Maybe you want more peace. Maybe you want lighter days, calmer mornings, or room for a new hobby. Maybe you're easing into a stage of life where comfort matters more than clutter. Now ask one question as you look at each item. Does this belong to who I'm becoming? Here's an example. You might have clothes that fit a life you don't live anymore. Work outfits from a career you've stepped away from, stacks of hobby supplies for activities you've outgrown, or sentimental items that represent a chapter that has already ended. Keeping them means you're holding space for a past identity. Releasing them makes room for your future self to breathe. It's not about throwing things away. It's about alignment. It's about creating a home that supports the life you want now, not the life you had 20 years ago. Imagine how freeing it would feel to open a closet that reflects the present you. Imagine a home that encourages the person you're becoming, not the person you used to be. That shift is powerful, and it stays with you. Your sanctuary awaits. Let's bring this home. You learned 3 mindful techniques today. The why do I have this method, the energy scan method, and the future self filter. None of them depend on rushing. None require you to declutter your entire home in one weekend. They're steady, thoughtful, and designed to reduce overwhelm instead of adding to it. Pick one technique. Pick one drawer. Pick one shelf. Start today. Small choices create the biggest changes. And the calm you've been wanting, that feeling of finally living in a peaceful sanctuary, starts with one intentional decision. Before you go, subscribe to Senior Decluttering Diaries so you don't miss the next video. And comment down below telling me which technique you're going to try first. Your goals and your stories help this community stay strong, and I'm grateful you're here. Your calmer home is coming. Step by step, choice by choice, you're building it.